Well, welcome back into the studio and the finale of the 28 Days of Love for 2021. So what I'm doing here is I am bringing together the 3 signatures. Now 2 of them have already been adhered to each other, and I'm going to tack the 3rd one on to the other 2 with this simple craft gum tape.
Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up 'cause nothing was changing.
And I'm just reaching over to my right where I have water, and I'm really getting that gum tape really softened and very saturated. I want that adhesive to really activate. Giving it a good rub down so it adhered to all I can. This is just really attacking to get it in position for the final securing of it.
And I think to myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever.
So these are my covers that come with the Wow 4x6 book bones in the portrait style. And I'm just getting to see how much gap I'm going to need. You can see on that back signature, I'm going to have a little bit more of a gap than I do on the front. So I'm just getting that all held together so visually I can get my fiberglass reinforced brown craft tape in place, cut in into size. So that's just what I'm noting there is the gap that I'm seeing. You need to really let that have a gap when you're going in to bind these. Otherwise, it's always going to pooch forward. And you can see in the end, I did kind of not give it enough of a gap because it does want to be its chunky little lovely self and open up. But I do put a closure on this, so that does help. So I'm getting these placed where I want them to be, making sure I get a good enough gap there by just using the regular gummed craft tape. And then you're going to see here in a minute, I'm going to go in with that fiberglass reinforced craft tape.
I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up 'cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better.
And here I'm just trying to get these strings under control. I know I'm going to want to in the end to work with, so I'm just getting rid of all the excess now. I'm just tying them off, trying to get that as secure as possible and help with the binding in whatever way it can.
And I think to myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well.
So this is that water activated fiberglass reinforced brown craft tape. It's 2 3/4 inch wide, so it's a good width to really get secure and adhere those covers to the binding. You'll see I'm going to use it in multiple locations to get that really secure. And again, same as with the original gum tape, you need to get it pretty moist to get that gum activated.
Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
In here you can really see that gap that I have on that back cover, and again, you just want to leave it be and allow it to have that span, or else it's always going to be pooching out. So I'm just going to respect the gap.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations. Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. So stuck, I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. And I think to myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. Sweet baby. I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone.
And maybe it's a little bit of overkill, but I do sell these, so I always think I don't want anything to fall apart for someone who's purchased it. So I try and err on the side of being more cautious about that than not. So now I'm going to get in and start designing on this cover. I really wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I chose to start off with all the little bits and pieces that were left over from making the inside. And you'll see there's some new items there too, but I just pull out my little basket full of the small stuff that I've pull off my table every day. And I'm just going to start pulling out stuff that I recognize and a few new ones that would look good on the front of this cover. And I knew I wanted to go in maybe with some of that teal like on the back page. I really liked how that looked, and that just felt really right for this for the cover of this.
Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. And I think to myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. Sweet baby.
going to come in with some, I had put on a few pieces of cardboard on that, and I really liked that, and I felt like that would be probably a good focal point. So I'm coming in with a few more pieces of that cardboard. It's really showing a lot of the corrugated area and getting that adhered to at least 3 different locations on this front spine and back cover.
I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part.
So I'm coming in now with some white gesso just to push back some areas, highlight some others, fade out yet other areas, and try and give this a more of a design rather than just a stark, sharp shapes. I'm also taking the opportunity to get some white on the cover edges so that the craft doesn't show through.
Baby. And I think to myself, and I'm thinking out loud.
And now that I have that cover kind of finalized in terms of the gesso and pushing back areas, I'm going to come in with the final piece of corrugated cardboard for the front. And here I'm just showing you a little bit of the detail on that from a different positional view. Getting that adhered with, well, I went initially in with some TCW gel matte medium and felt it wasn't secure enough. So I did come in with the heavy body gel, get that down. going to use some white gesso again to highlight some of that texture, soften the edges, bring it in to be more of a cohesive part of this cover.
I'm a sweet baby.
Now that I have that good and dry, I'm going to come in with some Stabilo All, a round brush, and some water, and I am going to do some shadow effects just to try and catch some of the differentiation on this cover in the texture.
If you keep on waiting, but then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken, 'cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up 'cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson, 'cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
And I just felt like the Stabilo was a little bit too soft, and I wanted some areas to have more contrast. So I am going to come in here with fine liner filled with the Liquitex Airbrush Medium and some Mars Black, just so I can pump up the volume on some of those black areas that got pushed back with some of that bright aqua green paint that I put on. And so now I'm kind of auditioning some of my favorite ceramic buttons by Tina Walker. I'll have a link below. And chose this one, and now I'm trying to mark on the front cover where that needs to fall. Couldn't get a pencil through there, couldn't get my scissors through there. So I end up going in with my awl, which I should have done in the first place, but just kind of getting an idea of placement on that front cover before I make a final decision with that.
Sweet baby.
I'm just loading up my large-eyed needle with some wax thread, and I'm literally going to sew this button like you would sew a button onto fabric. So I'm using that same technique.
To find myself lost in old conversations, oh, 'cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken, 'cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up 'cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson, 'cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. sweet baby. And I think to myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
And for the back loop, I am just to secure the closure, I am just sewing that on exactly the same way I did the button. I am gonna also secure it with the gum tape you'll see here in a minute, but I am also going to, between the fabric and the cover, there's that little gap there, I am going to put some heavy body gel in there just to give it a little bit more security as it's pulling closed on the closure.
'Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting, but then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanted to give up 'cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear.
And these were beads that were given to me in this cute little container with one of her little girl faces on the cover by Kristen Van Valkenburg when we did our Christmas collaboration. I'll put a link up for it in the upper right hand corner, but it was so much fun. Anyways, it was such a nice opportunity to get a chance to use them.
Baby. Myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time, and I know it so well.
This is some old upholstery fabric that I've had sitting around for a really long time. All I have is this little roll of it, but I really like that kind of fringed edge, and I really liked the reverse of it, not the front side, but the back side I chose to use on this because I really liked those colors kind of matched what was happening on this little guy, big chunky guy. Anyway, so I'm using I've cut it down to approximately the size, and I am using some Fabri-Tac to get that glued down. This is one of my favorite glues, and getting that glued down and then securing it and then trimming the edges, and I'm going to do that on the front, or excuse me, the back and then the front covers. And I had the opportunity to be able to use that fringe on the outside edge, so that was kind of nice. I really liked that.
Never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations. Oh, 'cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting, but then you came along and proved the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make.
Thank you so much for coming along with me throughout this long series of videos regarding the 28 days of love that happened during February. It always is so wonderful to see all of you who watch the videos and kind of keep up with it. It's just a exercise in love, I think, all around. I did save a couple of surprises for you, so you'll get to see those at the flip through that I'll have out in another week or two.
Your side.